Okay, just wanted to show you today what is a combination of both a desktop and a mobile app called Vocabla, and this is a new app for helping students learn vocabulary. You can sign in using Facebook or just with an email, and at the beginning you can choose whether you want it from sort of English to English or English to a variety of other languages, such as Spanish, I think, Polish and a few others. I think this determines whether they what translations they provide for you. Essentially, it's a flashcard app, similar to something like Quizlet. And you can see on this front page it's quite a pretty looking app, and you can notice from this thing on the left where it's got Get Bronze Badge that there's quite a heavy element of gamification here. Let's just go through some of the things I've noticed so far. Let's go down on the left here. You can see where it says new word down on the far left. This is where you can add any words to your list. They will suggest some words for you, I think based on your level and what you're learning, and you can add words from the box here. So just add the word digest. The one nice thing is that it does provide the definition for you. Rather than you having to provide it yourself, you can change it if you want, and they'll provide other ones, or you can enter your own translation. So if you want to add any additional information, let's just save that first one. And now that's been added to my list. I can then go and have a look at my list. And this is my main list that I've got here. You can have as many lists as you want, I think. But this is the main list that I've got here. I've got about 20 words or so here. Then at the top you've got two options. You can do training, which is essentially just browsing and looking at your flashcards. So if we do that, and you can see it does a little timer, a breakdown, and going down from 1.5 minutes. You've got the flashcard.
Dog.
And it will also say the word as well. It will pronounce it. You can turn that off if you wish.
Fluid. Dive.
Okay, so you can do that. You can do the training, and then you've got the option here as well to do a test. Where you're given the definition, and then you choose one of the 4 words that it is. Okay.
Dog.
So the problem with this, it just chooses words which are sort of vaguely related, I think, to the word or have a similar sound to it, but it doesn't choose from your actual list. So it's not always actually testing the words that you've already learned. So often it's quite easy
Fluid.
to find the answers to them. Okay, so let's close the test. And there's a strong ranking and gamification element. If we go on the left here, you can see people's daily and monthly rankings. I'm here somewhere. I think this is quite a new thing, so there we go. I'm at 35 at the moment. I think it's based on how many words you've learned and how many tests you've taken. The other quite nice thing, there's a strong sharing element here. If we go back to library on the left, you can download lists that other people have made, and here are some lists here, and you can download them, and this will be added to your lists. You can also, I'm just trying to remember where you do this, you can also share a list. Let me just go here. Yes, I think you can't share your main list, you have to make sort of a sub-list to share it. And so if I was about to start something called the academic word list, if I add something to that, you can see you can share the list on the right here, and I believe you get some kind of extra ranking points for that as well. So this is the app. It's not, massively fully featured. It's not like something like Quizlet, where it creates games and lots of different tests and quizzes for you, but it's quite neatly laid out. It's quite clear and quite easy to navigate, and there's a nice sort of ranking and sharing element. But there's also a app for this, which can be used on both iOS and Android, and I'll show you the Android version of that now. Okay, so this is the Android app of Vocabla, and they've kept it pretty similar to the desktop. Maybe that's why the desktop is relatively simple, so that they can mimic on the mobile what they've got on the desktop. And this is the dashboard at the beginning. This gives you your overall sort of stats, your points, your daily rank, etc., etc. You can use the menus along the bottom to go to your different aspects of the app, such as your lists. So this shows you your lists, and you can click up there to look at all the other lists. So that's my main list. That's a list that I downloaded. Okay, and you can do the same training and test that you do on the desktop. So you can go through. Doesn't seem to have any audio though, it just has the words and the definitions. Okay, and also you can do a test. Again, it suffers from the same problem as the desktop in that the words it takes are not from your lists, they're from other lists, and so it's not always very difficult to find the answer, but you know, they're trying to make it, you know, relevant and challenging, so having 4 unconnected words I suppose would be more difficult. So those are all different options there. There is the library. This is where you can download lists that other people have submitted, and you can have a look and see what there is. A lot of English ones, it seems. I don't know if that's because I chose that as the language. You can look at the ranking in more detail. You can see where you are. Again, here down the bottom, you can see I'm 36th at the moment. And of course, in the middle, there's the option to add a new word. And let's try the word follow. Click add, and again, it will give you the definition just underneath that. You can change it if you want, say, a different form of it, maybe a verb form or just another meaning of it. So let's change it to travel behind, go after. Okay, and then just click save. And then that word will be added to your list. And again, it can also suggest other words for you to have as well. So very similar to the desktop app. But I think it's just a nice little interface. It's clean, it's clear. I'm hoping that later they'll give more sort of sharing options, different game abilities, different types of activities you can do. But for now, it seems to be a nice start, and you know, a nice way for students to collect lists of vocabulary and learn them. Okay. Any comments about this review or the app, if you've tried it, would be very, very welcome. Thanks a lot.